The sun began its slow descent over the serene waters of Flathead Lake, casting long shadows on the forested shores. The Johnson family, David, his wife Maria, and their two children, 16-year-old Ethan and 13-year-old Lily, were looking forward to their vacation aboard their newly rented luxury boat, the Serenity. David steered the boat with a confident hand, smiling at his family. "Isn't this perfect? Just us, the lake, and the mountains." Maria nodded, her eyes closed as she soaked in the tranquility. "It's beautiful, David. I can't believe we finally made it here." Ethan and Lily were at the bow, dangling their feet over the edge, watching the water churn below. They had heard rumors about the legendary Flathead Lake monster, but dismissed them as mere campfire tales to scare tourists. As dusk approached, a sudden chill ran through the air. Lily shivered, pulling her jacket tighter around her shoulders. "It's getting cold." David glanced at the sky. "Looks like a storm might be coming. Let's head back to the dock." He turned the boat around, but as they made their way, a low, eerie rumble echoed from the depths below. The boat shook slightly, causing Maria to grip the railing. "What was that?" "Probably just a submerged log," David said, though he didn't sound convinced. Ethan's face lit up with excitement. "Or the Flathead Lake monster." "Stop it, Ethan," Maria scolded, but her eyes were scanning the water nervously. Suddenly, the boat lurched violently to the side, throwing them off balance. David struggled with the wheel. "Hang on." A massive, dark shape brushed against the hull, rocking the boat with each pass. Panic set in as the family clung to whatever they could grasp. Lily screamed as the creature rammed them again, nearly tossing her overboard. Ethan pulled her back just in time. The water around them began to churn violently, and a large, serpentine head emerged, glistening in the dim light. It was the Flathead Lake monster, its eyes glowing with a menacing intensity. The beast was enormous, its scales shimmering with an otherworldly hue. "Everyone inside, now!" David yelled, ushering his family into the cabin. He tried to radio for help, but the monster struck again, harder this time, splintering part of the deck. The boat's engine sputtered and died, leaving them adrift in the growing darkness. The creature's attacks became relentless. Each collision was more powerful than the last, tearing chunks from the boat's hull. Water began to seep into the cabin. Maria held Lily tightly, trying to calm her sobs, while Ethan helped his father desperately bail water. The monster's head smashed through a window, its jaws snapping inches from David. He grabbed a flare gun from a nearby cabinet and fired it at the beast. The flare struck the monster, causing it to recoil with a thunderous roar. "Did we get it?" Ethan asked, his voice trembling. David shook his head, knowing the respite was only temporary. "We need to abandon ship. Get the life jackets." But before they could react, the monster rammed the boat again, this time with enough force to capsize it. The family was thrown into the icy water, their screams drowned out by the roaring lake. David surfaced first, gasping for air. He saw Maria struggling nearby and swam towards her, but a shadow loomed beneath them. The monster's jaws closed around Maria, pulling her under with a horrific splash. "No!" David screamed, diving after her, but she was gone. Ethan and Lily were clinging to a piece of wreckage, their eyes wide with terror. David reached them and pulled them close. "We have to stay together," he gasped. The water churned again, and the monster's tail swept through the debris, knocking Ethan away. David swam after him, but the monster was quicker. It surged upwards, engulfing Ethan in a single, swift motion. David and Lily were alone now, the reality of their plight setting in. Lily was sobbing uncontrollably, and David held her tight. "It's going to be okay," he lied, his voice shaking. The monster circled them, its eyes glowing in the darkness. David tried to shield Lily, but the beast struck again, dragging him under. His last thought was of his daughter, hoping she might somehow survive. Lily floated in the cold, dark water, her mind numb with shock. The monster's glowing eyes were the last thing she saw before it lunged at her, pulling her into the abyss. By morning, the calm surface of Flathead Lake betrayed no hint of the horror that had occurred. The Serenity was found drifting aimlessly, its hull shattered and pieces scattered across the water. Search parties combed the lake and its shores, but no trace of the Johnson family was ever found. The legend of the Flathead Lake monster grew stronger with their disappearance, a grim reminder of the mysterious and deadly forces that lurked beneath the lake's placid surface. The locals whispered of the beast that ruled the depths, waiting for its next prey, as the fragments of the Johnsons' boat drifted silently, a haunting memorial to a family lost forever.